we stay in this state for long enough that dis-ease turns into disintegration. Now, if we just flip the switch, and this is what we have the power to do with our conscious mind, if we flip the switch and turn around from doubt and worry and turn to knowledge, turn to understanding, right? And how do we get knowledge and understanding? There's only one way, and it's through study. And unfortunately, that's something that not a lot of people like to do. But when we start to study, would you agree?
Oh, definitely. And it's even more harder, wouldn't you say? Because we have all this technology, and a lot of us are just basically lazy. We don't know we're not teaching about the dictionary, the thesaurus, all this other stuff, because we're like, oh, okay, let me get my phone. Let me put it in the Google search. It's like, really? Seriously? So, I'm on the same page with you.
No, that's a good point. Maybe it's technology that's making people, they have the answer at their fingertips. So this is stuff you can't Google.
Right. But go back to what you just said. There's a duality here that we have today is right for this timing, as we are in the era of the soul. We're in the soul-like era, and therefore we're also in a new age, in the age of Aquarius at the beginning, which is how each one of us relates to the world. But this whole thing is powerful, because this technology that was given in a idea for Steve Jobs basically transformed us and making connections. This is actually the physical manifestation of God's conscious mind, and tapping into that source that is actually universal, that we can tap in, as they call the book of life, the astral records, all these different things. But the point is, people who are not looking through their spiritual eyes, who have not been able to develop those spiritual eyes with their physical eyes, are basically walking around like the movie that Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman played in. They were married, eyes wide shut. They are in the glamour of illusion of all of this stuff. So you know what? They're just using it as just limited tool. And when it's not working for them, what happens? They go back into being angry and fearful and all this other stuff. Like, what's wrong with this thing? Hello.
Yep.
God
Exactly.
created you a perfect being, and you have the ability to ask the question, be specific, and sit down and get out of your way and allow the answer to come. And maybe the answer might say, go pick up a dictionary.
It just might.
It might just say that.
You just might. I like that you mentioned ask questions and be specific, because a mantra that I've kept with me for a while now is the quality of your life is in direct proportion to the quality of the questions that you ask of yourself and others. So I believe in the power of questions, and how that simple act of asking question, inquiring, and then shutting up and waiting for the answer, is so powerful.
Yeah, we haven't mastered that part of it, because we ask the question and we don't give the other person the ample time to recite back the question and give the answer. And I know some of us, and I'll be the first one to say, I can be guilty of this, because the gifts that I have, the spiritual gifts that I have, and me being in a role of asking the questions, they're coming to me rapidly. So therefore, as the questions come, I'm spitting them out. But that depends on the situation. However, I have the opposite of that. I have the great ability to listen and take in, and then feel it, and then release the message, because that's all I am. I'm a messenger.
Right.
That's it. And when there's a message that comes to me, it's just my job to be that guide to deliver the message. Now, what you choose to do with that afterward, it's like right now on this platform, Love and Pillow Talk, what people choose to do with the wisdom that you're sharing with them, if it doesn't resonate with them, okay, put it to the side. Just put it to the side, because you're not ready for it. Don't beat yourself up. People beating themselves over the head, like, no. Put it to the side, because you're not ready. But when you're tired of dealing with the same old, and when your heart says you got to go about this differently, when the signs start showing up, when you start getting a little push, a little light push, hopefully this doesn't get to the point where you get what I call the spirit slap. And the spirit slap slaps you down. Right. And in that moment, we go back to step one. it is about how are you going to deal with that? Can you take responsibilities that has the changes that have taken course, not just in mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but in the physical body? Because not all of us get back up from those spirit slaps. So, you know what? I want to talk a little bit and go into now talking more about this wisdom that you align with Bob Proctor's talk about thinking into results. So talk about this program. Share some of the basics of the success of this program that contains over like 48 years of research.
Sure. Absolutely. So I've had a really unique privilege to work with the last living founding father of the personal development industry, Proctor. Many people know Bob Proctor from the movie The Secret. And he's basically encapsulated his wisdom into this program that consists of 12 modules. And what I would say is that these modules can live alone, but they really build on each other. And the composite of the program really helps people get a grip on what it is they're doing on a habitual basis, giving them results that they don't want to get. And this program can be applied to change your income, improve your relationships, have more self-confidence, and have a better self-image of yourself. And for me personally, one thing that I benefited from this program the most was I have always been a total introvert my whole life. I'll go in the room, I won't say anything, I'll sit down and observe. That was my MO. And I've always had all these ideas and considered myself a creative person, but I just couldn't really bring it to the surface. And I was scared of my own shadow. I didn't want to hear my own voice. And this program has really helped me overcome that and become more outgoing, more outspoken, and really share what's on my mind. And that's been tremendous.
That is an amazing part because, yes, everybody else don't know, but you know how I met Cardessa. And it was on my schedule to come meet her and sit down because she was putting a small group together and sharing this wisdom. And I didn't know what I was getting ready to walk into. And coming through the city, coming back to the side of where you were at, and walking in, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm like an hour late. I'm sure I've missed like bulk of all this amazing wisdom, what she's going to be sharing. But guess what? Timing is perfect. When I walked in the cafe and you were talking, I was in the cafe at the right time with the right people and receiving the right message. And I shared with you afterward, all I could do from that point was continue as you were talking and sharing was like shake my head, yes. Just shake my head, yes. Just keep shaking my head, yes. I'm like, oh, she is on it. This is what I love, that, another person is showing up in the conscious minority and sharing this wisdom. And love how you delivered that message. The point is that even in your delivery or my delivery on this platform, Love and Pillow Talk, it's the same message. Message. And as you know, I'm going to be honest with you, helped me to even hone in more on my focus and where it needs to be, which is about love, healing, and the soul work. That's what this platform is about. But guess what? You can't bring in and not able to grow these other areas, whether it be relationships or financial blessings or anything like that, until you work on you. So that being said, what we're going to do, Cardessa, we're going to kind of jump into a break. So stay tuned with us. We're going to get back in and share more wisdom with Cardessa Kerr and talking about thinking into results on WGSN-DB, Love and Pillow Talk. And everybody, if you have any questions, you can always send me an email at goingsolonetwork@gmail.com and ask Madam Coach. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, this is your girl, Dr. MV, host of Singles Get Real. Catch the show every Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you missed the show, simply check out my podcast. Thanks for listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to WGSN-DB, Love and Pillow Talk with Madam Coach Perea, where we're up and close and personal. And today I have an amazing guest, Cardessa Kerr, and she is sharing a powerful program to help us in our relationships, in the way we live our life, to change our lifestyle in more of abundance, prosperity, and good fortune and blessings. And all of it means to be able to learn how to attract what we really, 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 really want. So she has this program, and she's going to go in and finish talking about it, and it's thinking into results. So go ahead, Cardessa, and continue on this wisdom that you've been sharing with us in the last half an hour.
Absolutely. So at the core of the program is what you just said, having a crystal clear image in your mind of what you want, whether it's perfect health, multiplying your income, soulmate, whatever it is, it starts with the image. See, everything in our physical world was created twice. It's first created in the imagination, in the mind, and then the physical equivalent comes into manifestation. So you've got to be clear, you've got to be specific, and you've got to, first of all, know what it is that you want. You cannot hit a bullseye that you can't see. It's as simple as that. So thinking into results helps you understand that you have this image-making faculty of the mind. It helps you understand the 6 creative faculties of the mind. We hear a lot of times, we're here to do God's work. Well, what is God's work? God being the creator, our work is to create. And lucky for us, we've been given these 6 creative faculties that we can use to create our world, as opposed to living from the outside in, listening to the media, listening to our friends, listening to society. Living life from the outside in, we can live from the inside out and create our world with these intellectual faculties.
Well, definitely, I want you to share those faculties in a brief summary, but I also want you to go in and share your personal story.
Sure.
Where you're coming back from a trip, and this is about your gold card that you received after coming back. If you please share that, because that was an amazing story, and it falls right in line with what you're talking about, so people can have a visual image of exactly what you're saying about manifestation. But talk to us about those six key principles.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Nobody's ever asked me to tell this story before, so this will be fun. Okay, so I went to study with Bob at a training last February, and this training was really important to me. I had a huge goal, and after every training, Bob Proctor gives us these goal cards. He teaches us to carry the dream or the goal that we have written down on paper on a little card that we can carry it around with us in our pocket, wallet, purse. So you have it on you all the time. So I had this brand new goal. And on my way home back to Houston from Toronto, I stuck a crispy $100 bill. I folded it up into a tiny square, and I tucked this $100 bill into the goal card. It's in a plastic sleeve. And man, I was excited. And so I'm journeying back to Houston from Toronto. My wife picked me up at the airport. And as soon as I get settled in the car, it's Friday, just after 4 p.m. So you know it's rush hour, and you know Houston traffic is nothing to play with. So we're in the car, we're getting going, and I'm looking for my gold card, and I'm checking my pockets, and I don't feel it. And I'm checking my backpack, and I don't see it. And I checked everything like 3 times, you know. That's when you know you've lost something, when you start checking the same places multiple times.
Yes, 2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah, and I told her I don't have my gold card. And you know, I couldn't decide, am I more upset about the gold card or the $100 bill? Like, that's how much this goal meant to me. You know, it was 50-50. So she says, well, do you want me to turn around? By this point, we were about 7 miles away from the airport. We're stuck in traffic. And I told her, no, you know, and I had just explained this diagram to my seatmate on the plane about having faith or having fear. You know what? Let's turn around. I said, I can just as easily choose to believe that I'll find it rather than dismiss the idea. So we turn around, and I'm pacing in the car, in my seat, if that's possible. I'm pacing.
Possible.
It's possible. So we get back to the passenger pickup area, and I jump out the car, I take my phone with me, and I'm retracing my steps. I'm looking down. I go back into the restroom that I visited when I landed, and I almost ran this lady down into the stall. Like, I almost ran her out of the stall trying to look for my gold card. And I went as far as I can go. You know, you can't go back into the terminal area.
Right.
So I don't see it anywhere. So I go back to the car. My head's kind of hanging. I'm like, man, I'm really disappointed. I get back in the car, and something tells me just give it one more shot. So I get out of the car again, and I said the word find. I spoke the word find. And as soon as I said find, I looked down, and there was the gold card, $100 bill side down, Cars are passing by. People are walking to and fro. And there it is.